A quick recap of Episode 1. Angela, a maid in the Peterson mansion, was hiding a dangerous secret. She was 3 months pregnant with her billionaire boss's child, Donald Peterson. But he didn't remember the night they spent together. He was getting married in 2 weeks to Pamela Godwin, a senator's daughter. Just as Angela decided to resign and disappear, Mrs. Peterson announced mandatory medical tests for all staff, including pregnancy tests. Now, back to the present time. The medical room felt like a prison. Dr. Frederick had set up his equipment efficiently. Blood pressure monitors, syringes, test tubes lined up like soldiers ready for battle. Angela sat on the examination chair as Dr. Frederick prepared his equipment. "Relax, this will only take a few minutes. Just a routine blood draw," he said. But there was nothing routine about this. In a few hours, maybe less, the blood test would reveal everything. Angela's mind raced through impossible scenarios. Could she run? Could she fake fainting? Could she somehow swap her blood sample? The needle pierced her skin. Angela watched her blood fill the vial. Dark red, incriminating evidence flowing into the tube. That blood carried her secret. That blood would destroy everything. Hello, family. Welcome to Diary of a Storyteller. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more beautiful, emotional, and heartwarming stories. Thank you as you do so. Sit back and relax as we dive into this beautiful story. All done. Dr. Frederick cut through her thoughts with a smile. The results will be ready by 4 p.m. You can go back to work. Angela stood on shaking legs. 4 p.m. She had 6 hours. 6 hours before her life ended. Angela walked out of the examination room, her heart racing with so much intensity as she bumped into Agatha, the head maid at the hallway. "Angela," Agatha screamed, "why do you look like you've seen a ghost? It's just a blood test, not a death sentence." If only Agatha knew how wrong she was. Angela tried to work, but her hands trembled as she washed dishes. Her mind was spinning. She had to do something. But what? Her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a text from her sister. Again. "Angela, Mummy collapsed this morning. Hospital says it's serious. They're asking for 150,000 naira immediately for emergency treatment. Please, I'm begging you. I don't know what to do." Angela covered her mouth to stop herself from crying out loud. 150,000 naira. Angela had 125,000 saved. Even if she gave everything, it wouldn't be enough. And if she got fired today when they discovered her pregnancy, she would have nothing. Her mother would die. Her siblings would suffer. All because of one night that Donald Peterson couldn't even remember. She was tired of it all. Everything was happening so fast. Too fast. Beyond her control. Angela stared at Donald's office door down the hallway. A desperate thought entered her mind. What if she told him now? Before the results came back? What if she went to his office, closed the door, and just told the truth? She walked down the hallway towards Donald's office with determination. Each step heavier than the last. Her heart pounded so loud she was sure the entire mansion could hear it. She raised her hand to knock on his office door, but the door suddenly opened before she knocked. "You!" Pamela barked at Angela as she stepped out of Donald's office. "What are you doing lurking outside my fiancé's office?" I, Angela stuttered. "I was just going to ask if he needed anything. He doesn't need anything from you. Ever." Pamela cut her off sharply. She stepped closer to Angela, voice dropping to a threatening whisper as she glared at her. "I'm watching you, Angela. I told you yesterday. Stay away from him. Do you think I'm stupid? I see how you look at him." Angela took a step backward. She couldn't breathe. Pamela suspected something. Not the pregnancy, not yet. But she knew Angela had feelings for Donald. Donald stepped out of his office, bumping into the two ladies. "Pamela, what's going on?" he asked. Pamela instantly changed her tone, appearing sweet and innocent. Nothing, baby. I was just asking the maid to bring us some drinks. Weren't you, Angela? Angela nodded with her head lowered, not trusting Pamela's voice. Actually, Donald continued. Angela, could you bring coffee to my office? I have a virtual meeting in 5 minutes. Their eyes met for a brief second. Angela searched his face for any hint of recognition, any memory of that night. Nothing. Just polite indifference. Yes, sir, she replied. Angela prepared the coffee slowly with shaky hands, carefully. This might be her only chance. Pamela had left the mansion. She'd heard her telling Donald she had a dress fitting. He would be alone in his office. She could tell him. She had to tell him. She walked to his office with coffee tray, taking a deep breath. She knocked softly on the office door. Come in, Donald responded. His office was a shrine to success. Awards on the walls, photos with world leaders, articles from Forbes and Bloomberg with his face on the cover. Africa's tech billionaire. The Pay Africa Revolution. Angela entered the office, holding the tray in her trembling hands as she stared at Donald, whose gaze was fixed on his laptop. Thank you. Just leave it on the desk, he said, without drifting his gaze from his laptop. He barely looked at her. Angela stood frozen, the words trapped in her throat. Sir, she began, I need to talk to you about something. That was when Donald looked at her for the first time since she got to his office. He looked up at her, slightly surprised. Is everything all right? Is it about your work? No, sir. It's personal, she replied. His expression changed to that of concern. If you need time off for family reasons, you can speak to Agatha about. It's about your birthday party, she cut in sharply without thinking. 3 months ago. Donald's face went still, carefully neutral. For a moment, Angela saw something flicker in his eyes. Recognition? Fear? But it was gone as quickly as it appeared. What about it? He asked cautiously. You weren't well that night. I helped you to your room. Do you remember? She stuttered, her hands, lips and legs trembling. There was a long pause between them. Donald's jaw tightened. I remember very little from that night. I don't normally drink that much. Someone must have spiked my drinks. I suspected it, but could never prove who. Angela's hope rose to a point. He remembered something. Not everything, but something. Sir, when you got to your room, something happened between us, and I need to tell you that Donald's office door suddenly banged open. Mrs. Peterson walked in, face like thunder. Angela, what are you doing in here with the door closed? Mrs. Peterson yelled at her. Angela jumped back from the desk, terrified. I was just bringing coffee, she replied calmly. Coffee that takes 15 minutes to deliver. Mrs. Peterson continued. Donald, I hope she wasn't bothering you with personal problems. These staff members always have some sob story about needing money. Mother, she was just. Angela, get out now, she yelled. And you, she said, pointing at Donald. Your fiancé is waiting for you at the wedding venue. The event planner needs your approval on the decorations. Angela backed out of the office, her only chance gone. The door closed. Amara stood in the hallway, her heart shattered. She had been so close to telling him. It was 3:45 p.m. Time was running out. In 15 minutes, Dr. Frederick would have the results. In 15 minutes, everyone would know. Angela sat in the staff quarters, her small bag packed with her few belongings. She had made a decision. The moment the results came back, she would run. Just disappeared into Lagos's chaos before they could stop her. She transferred every naira she had to her sister for their mother's hospital bills. That left her with nothing. but at least her mother would live. Suddenly, there was a commotion downstairs. Angela could hear raised voices from outside. Something was happening. Angela crept to the top of the stairs, listening. "Mrs. Peterson," Dr. Frederick spoke in hushed tone. "I need to speak with you privately. The results show—" He paused. "Just tell me. Is anyone sick? Any diseases?" Mrs. Peterson asked curiously. "No diseases," he responded. "But there is a complication. One of your staff members is pregnant." There was a long pause between them. Everyone felt the shift in the air. Mrs. Peterson's face hardened in anger. "Who?" she asked in an agitated tone. Dr. Frederick cleared his throat. "I really should speak to the individual first. Medical privacy." "Doctor," Mrs. Peterson screamed, "I paid you for this examination. I paid you very well. Now tell me who is pregnant in my house." There was a long pause between them before Dr. Frederick reluctantly opened his file. "Angela Benson, 3 months pregnant." Mrs. Peterson's face slowly transformed into rage. "Agatha, bring Angela to me now!" she screamed with fury that all the staffs knew hell was going to let loose today. The sound echoed through the mansion like a death sentence. Angela was marched into the drawing room by Agatha, the head maid. Her legs barely carried her down the stairs. This was it. The moment she had been dreading. Mrs. Peterson stood like a judge who was ready to declare a death sentence, while Dr. Frederick stood beside her, looking uncomfortable. "Is it true? Are you pregnant?" Angela stood there, unable to speak, tears streaming down her face. "Answer me," Mrs. Peterson yelled with fury. "Yes, Ma," Angela whispered. "You disgusting girl. Who is the father? Some driver? Some gateman? You've been having affairs under my roof?" Mrs. Peterson asked. "No, Ma, it's not like that." Angela's voice broke through tears. "Then who? Who?" she screamed even louder. Angela couldn't say it. Even now, even facing destruction, she couldn't destroy Donald's life, his wedding, his reputation. Mrs. Peterson scoffed. "You won't tell me. Fine, pack your things. You're fired. Get out of my house immediately. And don't expect a reference. I'll make sure every wealthy family in Lagos knows what kind of girl you are." Having heard the loud screams of Mrs. Peterson, Donald entered the drawing room. "Mother, what's going on?" he asked, his voice laced with worry. "This girl has brought shame to our house," Mrs. Peterson responded. "She's pregnant. God knows how many men she's been with. I want her gone before Pamela finds out." "Angela is pregnant?" he asked, really seeing her for the first time. Something changed in his expression, a flicker of memory, a shadow of doubt. "How far along?" Donald asked slowly. "Approximately 3 months," Dr. Frederick replied. Donald's face went pale, math calculating in his mind. 3 months. His birthday party was 3 months ago, the night he couldn't remember. The night Angela had helped him to his room. Donald stared at Angela with dawning realization. "Angela," he called out in a whisper, "is the baby mine?" The room went completely silent, Mrs. Peterson's mouth falling to the ground. "What did you just say?" she asked in shock, turning towards Donald. Angela and Donald locked in eye contact, the truth hanging between them. "Yes," she whispered, lowering her gaze to the ground. "You're lying!" Mrs. Peterson interrupted, her face transforming through shock, rage, and calculation. "You're a scheming, lying girl trying to trap my son." She turned towards her son. "Donald, tell me this isn't true." Donald's gaze was still fixed on Angela. "That night," he said softly, "my birthday. I woke up, and I knew something had happened, but I couldn't remember. I thought I dreamed it." "This is ridiculous." "Donald," Mrs. Peterson cut in sharply, "you're getting married in 2 weeks. This gold digger probably got pregnant by some random man, and now she's trying to claim it's yours. I'm not a liar, Angela screamed, anger finally breaking through her fear. I've never been with anyone else. Only him. Only that one night. How dare you? Mrs. Peterson moved towards Angela threateningly. You seduced my son. You took advantage of him when he was vulnerable. I should call the police. Enough, Donald screamed out of frustration and conflicted emotions. There was complete silence in the room. Everyone was shocked at Donald's outburst. If what Angela says is true, then we need a DNA test. Immediately, Donald concluded. I can arrange that, Dr. Frederick replied. But the results will take a few days. No! No DNA test! Mrs. Peterson cut in immediately. Do you realize what this could do to this family? The scandal? Your wedding to Senator Godwin's daughter? Your business? Everything we've built? Mother, if I have a child, I need to know, Donald replied her. Mrs. Peterson's voice turned cold and calculating. Fine. We'll do the test. Privately. Discreetly. But until then, this girl doesn't leave this house. We can't have her running to blogs or newspapers trying to sell her story. Mrs. Peterson turned towards Angela with pure hatred. You'll stay in the staff quarters. You don't speak to anyone. You don't use your phone. You don't exist. And if this test proves you're lying, I will personally make sure you pay for trying to destroy my son. The sound of heels clicking on marble floor filled the house. Pamela entered the drawing room with shopping bags in her hands, with smile on her face. Darling, you won't believe the dress I found. She stopped, sensing the tension and seeing everyone's faces. What's going on? Why does everyone look like someone died? She asked. There was a long and horrible pause. Everyone fixed their gaze on Donald. This was the moment where everything would either be saved or destroyed forever. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more amazing videos like this, and click on your notification button so as to get notified on when we upload more videos. Thank you.